Very good morning. Today we are going to see the session combined linear congruential generators and test for random numbers. So this is under module number 3. This is a random number generation topic. So here we are going to see combined linear congruential generators. So before going to this topic, we need to understood if computing power has increased. So automatically what will happen? What we are going to simulate the things or events which is going to get increased. For example, 2 power 31 minus 1. So this is one of the most significant example we can give in this combined linear congruential generators. So 2 into 10 power 9 approximately we can get, and this is no longer adequate for all the applications. And if so, if for example if you want to find out any single event is going to get failure, so hundreds of thousands of elementary events we can apply, otherwise we can integrate into see the event. So all these things we can see in this combined linear congruential generators. And then also we are going to see the test for random numbers. So in this we are going to see the frequency test and autocorrelation test. So combined linear congruential generators. So the main thing, one fruitful approach is to combine two or more multiplicative congruential generators in such a way that the combined linear congruential generators are independent and discrete valued random variables and not necessarily identically distributed. So here we can see the formula which is uniformly distributed on the integers from 0 to mi minus 1. That is Wi is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to k Wij. So to see how this result can be used to form the combined generators, let xi2 and then xik be the ith output from k different multiplicative congruential generators. So here jth generator has prime modules and multiplier we can choose for the period mj minus 1. So these and all the only we are going to combine two or more multiplicative congruential generators. So that formula what we can say is xi is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to k minus 1 power j minus 1 xij and mod mi minus 1. So this is the main approach we can follow in the combined linear congruential generators. And now we'll see this result how it is going to use to form the combined generators. So let xi1, xi2, xik be the ith output from k different multiplicative congruential generators we already discussed. That is the formula what we can say is xi is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to k minus 1 power j minus 1 xij mod mi minus 1. So the ith generator has prime modules mj and multiplier aj and period is mj minus 1. So what here they are coming to say is the output we are going to get from k different multiplicative congruential generators. So this produces the integers xij and it is approximately equals to uniform on the integers 1 comma mj minus 1. So this is approximately uniform on integers. So this is how combined linear congruential generators worked out. So we can see the coefficient, how it performs the subtraction, and there is a condition if xi greater than 0 we can go for x by m. If x is equal to 0 then m minus 1 by m1. So we can apply this formula based on the parameters. So the maximum possible period for such a generator, there is an example. For all the this is a 32-bit computer and we have a k equal to 2 generators and we have a parameters called m1, m2, a1 and a2. So based on this things we can apply in that particular formula and we can get the first generator how much, second generator how much, and each individual generator how much we can find out. So this is the formula. P is equal to m1 minus 1, m2 minus 1, mk minus 1 divided by 2 power k minus 1. So this is actually which is achieved by generator. We can see in this example these things we can apply in this. So this is how these kind of simulation of complex computer networks will work in thousands of users and they are executing hundreds of programs, and area of current research is the driving of generators with substantially fruitful approach we can say. And P is equal to m minus 1, m2 minus 1 and mk minus 1 divided by 2 power k minus 1. So this formula we can use in this. So now we will see the test for random numbers. We have so many tests in forthcoming sessions and all. We can go for the Kolmogorov, Smirnov or chi-square test, and then so these kind of tests we will see in forthcoming topics. So now we will see the frequency test and data correlation test. When we see this frequency test, this test uses the Kolmogorov, Smirnov or chi-square test. What it means actually, Kolmogorov, Smirnov or chi-square. So whatever it may be, just it just compares the it is going to compare with the existing one, but not with the future one sometimes. Why? Because they'll be getting the accurate output, and it's going to compare the distribution of set of numbers generated to a uniform distribution. So we can see go for if we go for uniform distribution, there is a range of 0 comma 1. So now we can see the autocorrelation test. So it tests the correlation between the numbers, and it compares the sample correlation to the expected correlation 0. So this is the main difference between the frequency test and the autocorrelation test. So when we see in this frequency test, we do have a Kolmogorov, Smirnov or chi-square test. So both things is going to compare. So before going to these tests and all, we need to know what is how hypothesis testing will work out. So this hypothesis testing is going to apply for the input data distribution, and this Kolmogorov, Smirnov or chi-square test is going to compare the distribution of set of numbers generated to the uniform distribution. And autocorrelation test, so it just tests the correlation between the numbers, and it compares the sample correlation to the expected correlation 0. Thank you.